Alright, we have a handle like this, which purpose is to attack your fingertips. Like you can see when I hold the weight, I'm holding the weight with my fingertips, because what this weight tries to do is do this. It tries to turn around, which will open my fingertips up. I'm holding this with these fingertips here. And what this handle tries to mimic is when you are arm wrestling. When you're arm wrestling, you have your hand like this, and the other person have their hand here. So this handle tries to make you strong in this position, which is the starting position. So if you can contain the person here in the beginning of the movement, he cannot do this to you. Why this is better than thick handles is because thick handles have your hand like this already. I'm not saying this will replace thick handles, but it's a good alternative. You can switch around and try how this feels. So, thick handle has your hand here, and this handle has your hand here. And I say that this handle actually having your hand in this position makes you stronger in the position that matters more. Because if you're strong here, he never can get to the place, which would be this, where you are even more vulnerable, because he can slip out of your hand over here. If you're only strong here, he can slip out already when your strength comes in this position. But if you're strong here, he cannot even slip out of your hand. And with the small handles, the issue is because the handle is so tiny, it's not attacking your fingers at all. Because the weight happens, the force goes in this direction. So it's just attacking these parts of your fingers, not the fingertips here. Weight goes there. But this, since it's trying to turn this handle, since this weight pulling here tries to turn this like this, it's trying to open those fingertips up in this position. So let me demonstrate a bit. Let's put a little bit more weight. I have already 5 kilos here. Like so. And of course, when you make this, I show you in a moment how to make this. When you make this, if you use a bigger angle iron here, meaning that this attachment point comes, this arm, this length between this handle piece and this attachment point, if it becomes longer, then this becomes harder to do. It's not bad, but it just means you use smaller amounts of weight. So when you point is that when you are pulling this, it might not be the same identical that I'm doing what I did. So your numbers might be different here. If you make it longer, you could only maybe lift 5 kilos. So this not tell anything about strength really when we don't have similar handles. Anyways, now we have 8 kilos, since these are 1.5 kilos and these are 2.5 kilos. We have 8 kilos. It's already close to my max weight. And as you can see, the weight tries to open my fingers up. Let's put even more weight so that I really fail this lift. Now 9.5 kilos. it's really attacking your fingertips here in this position, which is the starting position in your arm wrestling match. You can count time. Trained with this. It also keeps your wrist bent in, like so, when you do this, which is another good feature of this. So there you have it, and now I will show how to make this. Alright, let's make this tool. What you need is a straight metal piece. It can be a bolt or a butter knife or whatever straight metal. Then you need a carabiner. This is optional. You don't necessarily need this. Then you need some rope type fabric. Rope or this kind of trap thing. Then you need an angle iron. These are angle irons. Then some screws, small screws, which are shorter than the board where you are screwing them, so that they don't go through. Then you need a screwdriver and saw and a board. And the board is good to be solid board, meaning that it don't use board like these where you have these grooves, because they come in the way. Don't use these kind of boards. Use a board which has a profile, like smooth profile. Alright? And now we're gonna cut a piece out of this board, which is the same size of this. Alright? Now let's do that. So, now we have this piece that goes here. Now we use little screws to put it on place. When you are putting the screws, you want to put them so that they do not come on the way of your fingers when you are holding the handle. So these holes are fine. These holes here are not good, since the screw can pop out a little bit out of this metal, so you will feel it, and it's maybe not comfortable. So you wanna place it somewhere where they are not on the way. So let's do that. So now we have this stuff. You're almost done here. Then we only need to do something that we can attach weights to, like this, which we use to make this harder. There are a couple of different options to do this, and I show you a couple. First one, you just put a carabiner there, and then you make from this, you make a little loop, one knot, simple knot, nothing complicated here, simple knot. And then when you have your knot like so, from this side, you put your butter knife here, right? And then you tighten it. The butter knife will now stop the weight. The butter knife is optional, so you could just use a bolt or whatever straight metal piece you have, like a spoon or whatever. They are just there to stop the weight. And then you attach this here. You are ready. Another solution. Alright, you can just use a rope or strong, this is a strong string, not a rope, but you can use it too. This holds pretty good. So you just take a piece out of it. And let's say you don't have this symmetric hold here, which would be a good place to put this. But let's think that you do not find an angle iron like this. So you can make it still straight by making the rope go from two holes which are symmetrically placed, like so. Other way around. Like so. And then you make a whole double knot here, like so. Now, like you have like this. So it's just like this. Now you can put the weights on it like this. We first put the weights and then the stopper, like so. So you don't need the carabiner. And also, if you do not find a angle iron which has these symmetrical holes in the center, you can make it straight like this. Alright, I wanted to show you one more way how you can make this thing how you hold these weights. So you don't necessarily need you use this iron rod, which I have a knife. You don't need the knife necessarily. If you have just a longer rope or a strap or whatever, because you can make this also like this. If you normally just make here a knot, one knot, it's not enough to hold the weights, since the weights will just slide over the knot. Alright? So, but you can still make a thicker knot by wrapping this around itself. So you just make this, and then you make a couple of times like this, so that it becomes thicker, like so. So I just made it, so it's just basically like this. And then you make a knot here. You knot this around itself, like so. So now you have a thicker knot. And this thicker knot will actually hold these weights, like so. The knot does not go through the weight. So you don't necessarily need to use this if you have a longer strap like this. This will also hold the vase just fine. It will not go through. So if you have a longer trap or rope, you can do this, and if you have a smaller one, a shorter one, then use this and put this knife when you have this rope that is coming off the knot here. You put this knife here, like so. All right, so just a little trick like this so that you don't actually you need to use your butter knife. Right? Thanks.